wanted to talk about letting go. And if you're a true OG of this page, you'll know that I don't subscribe to letting go of your desire, but I do subscribe to letting go and saying goodbye to the old you and your old story, which includes the old you. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And not being afraid of letting it go, because sometimes there's the fear of not knowing if you're going to get what you want. Hello. The fear of not knowing if you're going to get what you want. So you kind of hold on to your old story, your old self, but you're wasting your time by doing that. So like I just said, we're talking about letting go. And if you've been an OG of my page, you know that I'm not talking about letting go of your desire. I'm a little bit ashy. It's okay though. I'm not talking about letting go of your, I'm looking for lotion, guys. I'm not talking about letting go of your desire, but I'm talking about letting go of your old story. Sorry, I was a little bit ashy. Okay. So, for starters, hi guys. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer. I hope everyone is thriving. I hope everyone is experiencing love, laughter, joy, and just focusing on thyself and all your desires. And I'm going to jump into the topic today. Hi. I'm going to jump right into the topic today. I don't think I'm going to answer any questions. No, I lied. I'm going to answer questions. I always say that I'm not going to, but I'm going to. And then that will be it for the night. I think I've been thinking on my new intro to my videos, and I've found it. So I think I'm going to start saying, welcome back to the best YouTube in the world. I think I'm going to start affirming that. I genuinely enjoy recording these videos for you guys and coming alive, so I think I'm going to start saying that. It's already done anyway, so it's mine. All right. I'm lollygagging. Let's get into the topic. So there's this kind of fear of, I think, of letting go for some, because it's almost like I love that for you. I love that for you. I'm going to read everybody's stuff in a second. So I feel like there's a slight fear, or is it worth it? So, you know, like when you were a kid and you played a game, it's like, I'll trade you this for this. And it's like, I'm not trading this particular item unless what I'm getting is a great trade back. And so I think some of you, not all, but some, are afraid to let go of that old version of themselves, because it's like, am I really going to have this new life? Am I really going to experience my manifestation? Am I really going to change? And the double-edged sword in that is that only you can decide it. So you're technically doubting yourself, no one else. And then two, it's like, you're already experiencing what you don't like, so why not take the leap to experience what you do like? You kind of get what I'm saying? So it's either, hey, yeah, I'm going to take the leap to let go of this old version of myself, or I'm going to stay in this tireless loop forever. So I've been noticing certain comments, not on my page, but in general, like when I scroll and I see people write their happy stories or they post their happy moments, and there will be people who write these comments like, and I'm only noticing them because I wanted to intentionally talk about this. And people don't realize sometimes that the things that they comment, the things that they say are literally affirmations. If we're not up to date on that, or we're not in tune with that yet, I don't know. We need to do your spoken word, the things you say about yourself, the inner dialogue. You are affirming yourself. Even if it's not in a proper sentence, you are affirming yourself. So remember that. In everything, as you sit there and dwell in those thoughts, remember you are affirming yourself, whether it's favorable or not favorable. And there'll be comments like, A girl will be like, I experienced long distance love and now we're getting married, and someone will be like in the comments under her joyous moment, like, long distance relationships ain't shit. I dealt with a guy who did this. And it's like, this girl just showed you that there is a potential world out there where long distance relationships can work. And you went and commented on this young lady's post to say how your experience and how it does not work. And then there'll be stuff like someone going, I made this amount of money. And then you'll have the people like, oh my gosh, getting that amount of money is absurd. And literally putting their limiting beliefs in there. And then people like that wonder why they're not experiencing the things that they want to get. They're trying to figure out why they're not experiencing what they want to experience. It's because it's like, this is the old me, right? And let me use markers. Let's say this is the old me, this is the new me, and I'm telling you, hey, all you have to do to keep this as your reality is just put this one down and just focus on this, and focus on how this blue market is so lit, so perfect, and whatever qualifications and qualities you want your new world to have. And yet it's like the grip on this is here, and you're like, I don't know if I can have it, but it's already yours, but you don't want to. And I've been trying to wrap my head around it a lot recently, because I want my page to help people and I want people to get it. When you come to my page, I'm not babying you. I'm kind, I'm compassionate, but I'm not babying you, because at the end of the day, you're here to learn something. You're here to take this knowledge and apply it in your world so that you can experience what you want. I'm not here to get you to go in another repetitive loop of being sick and tired. I broke through that loop of being sick and tired, and I'm like, hey, I want you to break through that loop of being sick and tired. But at the end of the day, you have to discipline yourself to do that as well. You have to do the work, and the work is mental. So nobody told you that you have to do it in a night. Nobody told you have to do it in a week. But all you have to do is make continuous progress to being that best version of you. Some people can, like I say, some people can wake up the next morning and they're like, forget that. So I'll give an example. Like, you'll read books, or you'll watch movies or romance movies or just regular movies where somebody was the underdog. And they were the underdog for so long, and they got bullied, and one day somebody bullied them too much. So they decided to let go of that victim energy, or that weak persona of being bullied and unbothered and all of those things, and they turned up and became the villain. And then next you know, throughout the whole movie, they're doing wildness. They're a whole different person. And in those movies, usually there's the one person that's close to them, like, why are you acting like that? Please bring back the old you. And that person's like, oh no, that person is dead and gone. I'm a new person now. This is what I do now. When you usually watch villain stories, even not just villain, even when you see people go from like lame to triumphant, it's like, no, that old version of me is gone. But it's like, some of you are holding on to that old version of you, and I don't know if it's because of fear or not properly saying goodbye. Like, I'm really trying to wrap my head around it, because in my head, when I was the version of me that was insecure and couldn't keep a relationship and money was coming in choppy, I genuinely despised what my 3D was reflecting. So I can't be that Nicolette anymore. I cannot be the Nicolette that's insecure anymore. I cannot be the Nicolette that doubts money and all of those things, because I do not want that 3D experience. It's whack. So I knew that I have to say goodbye to that version of me. And that looks like, if I'm insecure, how do I now become secure? A person becomes secure when they start to trust that they are special with all their qualities. I didn't try to become somebody else, like somebody else outside of me. Like, I didn't try to become my neighbor who's hot. I didn't try to become, my neighbor is hot. But anyways, I didn't try to become like a Beyonce. I just tried to become a different version of me that was the best. I didn't hate myself. I didn't hate that version. I just said that version of me is not helping. I have to let it go. That version of me is not experiencing a relationship. That has to go. That's what got me to say goodbye to the old me. Even now when I think back on it, or even if I have moments where like old me flares up, like I have moments where I like may respond like the old me, I don't even get mad. I just go, yeah, no, we're not going back that way, because the world was not fun when we was back that way. Let's continue to progress this way. Like I prefer this direction, and I just go back in that direction of who I am telling myself I want to be. Literally, the only thing you're letting go of is the old you. You can think about your desire all day, every day. You can think about the money, the man, the woman, the school all day, every day. Nobody told you have to let go of that. What you should be letting go of is the ways that you thought before. So if you have a desire, or if you thought of yourself in a certain way, bye. So let's talk about self-concept. Since self-concept is the most important, let's talk about being good enough. If you didn't think that you were good enough, and you thought that nobody could potentially want me, how could I potentially get money? Because I'm just not good enough. You may not have said the words I'm not good enough, but your inner dialogue is what got you there, right? You're having that way of thinking. You decide, you know what? I saw a girl, I saw a guy experience this lifestyle, and I know I can have it. So you know what? Let me change my life. Now, you don't stop thinking about the desire. The only thing that changes is you start to think about yourself differently. You're no longer going to think, when you were thinking you were not good enough, you thought money was unattainable. When you were not good enough, you thought that this guy or girl would never want you, or never commit to you, or you can never have the love of your life. Has someone who's now thinking, okay, I'm going to switch from thinking I'm not good enough to I am good enough. You're still thinking about the money, but now you're going to see money as attainable. You're now going to still think about the guy. You're now going to see I can have any guy I want. You're still going to think about the girl, but you're now, as a person thinking you're good enough, is going to think any girl would want you. The only thing that changed is how you thought of yourself. The desire is still there. You're not letting that go. You're letting your old self go. I cannot do the work for you. You have to do it for yourself. And so another perspective I can give is, you can continue on. I always tell people this. If you want to prove things to yourself, here's what I would do, right? Continue on doing what you were doing for another month. Tell me what happens. Now, change your view of yourself while disciplining yourself for a month, and tell me what happens. I'm pretty sure you're going to have two different results. You're going to have results, but two different ones. You're so attached to it, and some of you are going to be like, I'm not attached. I let it go. Okay, so then why are you still telling your friends about it? Why are you still, every time you meet someone new, you're telling them about it? Why are you talking about it all the time? Why are you liking all the stuff that you feel relate to it online? This is not liquor, guys, by the way. This is sparkling water with 0 sugar, which is actually really good, and I didn't think it was going to be. Why are you still talking about it? I don't talk. The funniest thing is, people always ask me, you never talk about your exes, Nicolette. Yeah. Why am I talking about them? I didn't go through that. They didn't do that. I get love. I get commitment. I'm loved. I'm adored. I'm respected. That's the only story you're getting from me. Unless I am helping someone in the channel with a question, I will sometimes use examples from my past. But not on a, that's my identity and I tell it as myself. Some of you introduce yourself with your circumstance, which is so insane. And I want you guys to see how crazy it is. So I'm going to tell you, like, I'll be like, I'm going to give like a conversation. Hi, my name is Nikki. You'll be like, hi, my name is Bob, and I've been through so much in my life. I had to struggle. I had to work hard for money. It's so hard for me to make money. I strive and I built penny by penny by penny by penny. And you know what? Love is just such a hard topic for me because in the dating pool in the United States, it's trash. So every guy that I meet treats me like crap. That's how some of you introduce yourself when you meet new people. That's how some of you go to your friends over and over and over and over again. What time did you have to introduce your new story? Now, I'm not telling you that you have to go to everyone and tell them of your inner desire. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, why are you so attached to telling that story? Is it that you want sympathy from people? Like, I'm asking the question so you can ask yourself the questions. Are you repeating it because you want sympathy from people? Are you repeating it because you want people to feel bad? Are you repeating it because you don't know how to get rid of it? Are you repeating it because you don't have discipline? Ask yourself these questions. Because it does not make sense to do that on a daily basis. Go into your imagination once and then come out and be like, nothing is shifting. I don't see change. Men are still talking to me like this. This is still happening to me like this. It does not make sense. It doesn't. It's either you're deciding from this day forth, I'm changing my life. Or you're deciding, hey, you know what? I actually cannot get rid of this habit. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. The same way that, okay, here's a better example. Any song can accidentally get played on loop in your head. So you ever heard like a catchy song that you didn't really care to play, like, and you loop it in your head, and then after next you know you're singing it. TikToks will do that to you, right? Just like how that created that loop, but it's a new loop. You've never heard it before until you went on TikTok, you heard it, and now you're looping it throughout your day. It's the same way you can create a new story. There's no excuses. Anything you say for why is the reason why you're not doing it. Okay, let's say I'm talking to Bob again. So Bob, you keep repeating this story. Like, what's going on? I don't know. I think I'm just so busy with work, and I gotta study, You're giving that excuse. So you're essentially saying school is the reason why you can't have what you want. Working a job is why you can't have what you want. So therefore, you're not going to do what you need to do because you just gave the excuse that that's what's stopping you from having what you want. You gave it. None of these things told you to label it as that. Do you see how many? I'll give another example. Let me even make it more real. There will be a single mom who had a kid that says, comes what may, I'm graduating and I'm going to get my degree, and becomes a doctor with the baby, single mom, whatever. Another single mom, same situation. Oh my gosh, I have a baby. I can't do all the things that I need to do. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Therefore, her life will reflect that. Two different mindsets, two different experiences. You are verbalizing your excuse. Your excuse is what you're putting there to be your obstacle. There is no obstacle. There is no obstacle. I don't know. So much time has passed. I think it's too late. Then it will be too late. I don't know. I just think that the kids are still in the house. I just can't find time for myself, not even 5 minutes. Okay? Okay? You are essentially deciding that this is the reason why I can't have what I want, and I'm going to buy into this, so therefore now I'm not going to have what I want. Do you know what separates people who has what they want from those who haven't? It's not status. It's not where they were born. It's not where they came from. It's not how long their hair is, how short their hair is. It's not their facial features. It's not if they're strong or if they're weak. It's none of those things. It's their mindset. It's their mindset and their ultimate trust in their beingness, whether they're in this community or not. And when I say in this community, there are people who are manifesting their life and not even watching any of these videos. That there's nothing to them that can stop them from having what they want. I don't know how else to say it to you guys. I don't know, and I'm gonna keep repeating it so you guys get it. But it's you. It's you. If you want something, then put your mindset into the state of having that. I am. Some people don't do affirmation in form of words. Some people can do a visual and can imagine that they're having it. I think a lot of the times also words need to be redefined, right? So we were raised in a society where the word imagination is seen as a plaything, and I talked about this before. I talked about how imagination was kind of beat out of us, like shaken out of us. Like, stop daydreaming, stop imagining, get real. Not every household, but for the most part, a majority. Because there were some kids that were raised with parents that told them, you can be anything you want to be in this world. And I love that for you. But some people did not get raised in that home, and that's okay. So, imagination was shaken out of us. So a lot of people see imagination as a plaything or not real. So the first step would be into redefining that word, right? If imagination is not a word for you that you like to use, let's try mental imagery, right? It's like your brain, your body is 3D printing what you want to experience. Have you guys ever seen how a 3D printer works? So freaking cool. Look it up on YouTube. Come back and comment on this video and let me know how you felt. 3D printing is cool, and that's essentially what you're doing. But the issue is not that you can't have what you're trying to imagine, is that you don't believe in your own imagination. I'm going to repeat that. It was never that you guys can't have what you want. Some of you don't even believe in your own imagination because you haven't redefined that word. You're still thinking like how they taught you to think, in terms of, oh, your imagination is not real. It's not that. Your consciousness is real. What you think in your subconscious, you will have. Your subconscious mind is always going to tell you yes. It's going to be like, yeah, printed. Yeah, print. Yeah, print. People treat me like shit. Yeah, print. Men ain't shit. Yeah, print. Women lie. Yeah, print. I can never get jobs. Yeah, print. You just printing shit. Printing mad shit. And that's not even what you want. And then I tell you, all you have to do is print a new page. Oh, I've been printing this for 20 years. I don't think I can change it. Okay. I'm going to start telling y'all okay. I'm going to start talking to the people who are ready. I'm going to start talking to the people who mean business. Because if I do that, I think then you're going to realize I mean business. I'm not here to I joke. That's my personality. But I'm serious. Because why have this information? I changed my life, and you guys don't change yours. No, you can change your life too. So I'm going to talk to the people who are serious. I'm going to give an example. When I used to be a personal trainer, and I first started, I would always try to get everyone to train with me, which people always wanted to train with me, right? And I would want to train with everyone, but that included people who were not serious, who were not mentally invested as well. So what would happen is I would have clients who would start to train with me, and they were not consistent. They skipped out on their lessons. They would eat whatever they didn't want, felt like they're doing, and then they would come back and be like, I'm not seeing results. And I would be like, well, you're not seeing results because you're not really locked in. I don't know what to tell you. But then I would have the ones that, even if they made slow progress, they were locked in. They showed up, and if they had to miss, it was an emergency. Traveled no matter the weather. Came to the workout, asked questions, and worked out, even if they hated the workout. Those were the people who are ready. They were not perfect, but they were ready. They were like, comes what may, I'm gonna do this. So that's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the people who's playing. I'm not talking to the people who's not ready to be serious about changing their life. You can watch my videos. You're always welcome here. It's always going to be love. I extend love to everyone. But I'm talking to the people who's for real, who's ready to apply this, who's ready to experiment for themselves, who's ready to prove to themselves that they're powerful, because you are. You don't need me to tell you that. That's who I'm talking to today. There is no reason under the sun, none, why you can't have what you want. It's really, I'm gonna say this, it's simple if you decide that you won't turn back around, that you won't go back to how you were. You ever see those people that was like, I used to fight all the time? Well, I know people that were like this, so let me say that they used to fight all the time. Any little thing, it's like, do you want to fight? And they would fight. And then they realize, I don't want to be this angry individual anymore. And they turn their life around. And it's not that they're all like calm, like yoga and like meditation, but they're not as reactive anymore. And there will be moments where something happens and the old them threatens to come out, and they're like, nah, I made a promise, I'm not going back to that old me. It's as simple as that. It is literally as simple as, no, I'm not going back to the old me. I made a decision. And your subconscious mind has to say yes. Some of you are fighting your own self. It is your best friend. Your subconscious mind is your best friend. Your subconscious mind brings up something or shows you a belief that made you experience something you don't like. And you're so angry, and you have every right to have every feeling you have. But you're so angry, you bypass the fact that your subconscious mind is just showing you what you fed yourself. Let's change it up. So when I experience something in my 3D world that's like, whoa. Yes, I experience my emotions, but then I go, I used to feed myself this, and I'm not that version of me anymore. So I don't really have to sit here and be mad at myself that I fed myself this at one time. That was some dark times, but we're not going back. And it's as simple as that. My subconscious is my best friend, so I'm not gonna yell at me like, Nicolette, how dare you? I can't believe you. Why would I talk to myself like that? It's like a parent that goes, I'm always gonna tell you yes. So it's like, why argue with the parent? Like, I'm always gonna tell you yes. So if I'm always gonna tell you yes, so just start asking for what you want. I want you guys to slow down and think about that for a second. Your subconscious is always going to tell you yes. So why sit there and get mad and dwell on all the things that you feel you messed up in the past, or how long time passed, or how you wasted time? Instead of wasting time on that, if I told you I'm gonna tell you yes, let's get to it. That's like somebody saying, yo, your subconscious mind is going to say yes. I'm not wasting time thinking about all the past times I was giving myself broke thoughts. Let's get to the money. I get money. You telling me you gonna tell me yes? Let's get to it. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Bring me the money. Bring me the love. Bring me the school acceptance. Bring me the job promotion. Bring me the friends. You sitting there dwelling on, wow, in 1989, I acted so crazy, and you over there dwelling on what happened then. Why? Just say bye. You did it. There's a word that, I don't know if you guys watch this podcast. They're a UK podcast, and they're called Shits and Gigs. So they just talk about funny things and like talk like bros or whatever the case may be. And there's a word that they say in the UK, because I'm not from the UK, but they use it, and this is how they use it. It's like, charge it to the game. Like, charge it. Meaning, like, instead of like sitting there trying to break down and like, I messed up, charge it. We're moving on. Kind of like a F it, forget it, move on. Yes, I love Fuhad too. Fuhad is my fave. James is funny. He is. But Fuhad gives calm, funny. Yeah, Fuhad is like. Anyways, the point is that why are you sitting there doing that? Charge it. Like, yo, forget it. You know what? I did it. Whatever. Let's move on. Why you hold to be a martyr? For what? Charge it. In other words, F it. Let's keep going. Now, I don't want my tone of indifference to be like, or not indifference, but I don't want my tone to come off like I don't care about you guys. But the point is that there has to be moments in your life that you kind of like, let's get real. Let's get focused. For real. Any person that's ever had an addiction and they have overcome that addiction have had the same conversation. It's like the old me did these things. My brain chemistry is altered because of these things. But you know what? It's time for me to be serious. I want a different life. And you'll hear stories of them. They got married. They got married, enjoying life, or they poured into their career, or they became a whole different person, whole different personality, and this is happier because they decided to commit to that new version of them. I'm not asking you to commit to me. I'm asking you to commit to you. But still watch my videos. But I'm asking you to commit to you. That's it. It's really that simple. Get clear on what you want. Decide that it's yours continuously if you have to. And then it's your experience. Now, that simple equation throws people sometimes because it's like, well, you're making it seem like it happens like magic. It doesn't, but the series of events unfold and it seems magical. So what's the problem? You're getting what you want. So what's wrong with thinking it's simple? Why do you want to think that things are hard? Why do you want to think that things are a struggle? Why are you addicted to struggle? Why are you so attached to struggle? Why do you feel like you have to experience struggle to deserve something? Why? If you want to, go right ahead. But what's wrong with not wanting to experience struggle to experience great? Why? These are questions that you guys should ask yourself. Why am I so attached to it not being simple? Why am I thinking it's so hard? I actually want things to be easy for me. I'm tired. I don't want to be mentally drained anymore. I don't want to have a tug of war anymore. So I'm deciding that things are easy for me. And that's okay because I deserve ease. Simple. But do some of you feel guilty for experiencing ease? And that should be addressed as well. Why should I feel guilty about experiencing ease? There's a billion people on this earth, and there are people experiencing ease. I shouldn't be excluded. So forget it. F it. I experience ease. Ease follows me wherever I go. Everything that I do is just easy. That's it. Self-talk, inner dialogue. You experience something that's actually difficult, your awareness is on it being difficult, take a breather. I'm seeing this as hard. Put it down for a second. Everything is just so easy for me. I'm met with ease. I don't have to struggle. It doesn't have to be hard for me. Things just fall into my lap. You'll be surprised at how things unfold. Somebody might come to you with an answer. Someone might assist you. Someone might not assist you, but it just, in your mind, it just shifts and it's now easy for you. How you view yourself on this journey sometimes when you're on the, I forgot what I was saying because I just read that. I forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to it when I remember it. my iPad is not charged, so I have to read it from here. Sometimes when I'm making a strong point and I don't give a fuck, you think, or what it's because I say it. I feel that I'm. Okay. I gotta reread that. Hold on. If it keeps popping up, ask yourself what you can learn from it. What's it showing you and about yourself? And then rewrite it. If I don't buy it, then it's old. I'm not into the new. The other thing too about like the whole negative thought thing that confuses me too is like, why is every negative thought being addressed? And why are they so feared? So I'm gonna put a different perspective on that for a second. We have thousands of thoughts a day, right? And obviously you want your dominant thoughts to be favorable in whatever way that looks to you and whatever that looks like to your desire. A negative thought comes up, why are we stopping the show for that? Why are we stopping the show for that one thought? Now, why are we fearing that one thought has so much power? You were just in a flow, let's say for half the day, where you were in a flow for half the day where you're just flowing, like you're enjoying doing what you're doing throughout the day. You think about how amazing you are, then you think about how everything always works out for you, and then you think about, oh, this person loves me, then you think about money comes to me, and then one thought is like, nope, you're not gonna get any of that. And then you're like, oh my gosh, the day is over. Why did you just think that that one thought can overpower everything else that just happened? That's the real question. Why did you just throw away all the power you just had for that one thought that once you let it pass, it means nothing? And when you actually make the road stop and you're fearing it, is actually when you make it important. But if you just had let it pass like it meant nothing, you make it unimportant. I'm not telling people to be cold, but there's some things that you have to learn to not let throw you off your ground. That's like if a knight who just started in the knighthood or in the army in that time, a knight who don't even know proper sword work, came to the king and was like, I challenge thee. And the king is like, anywho, so I want the pigs to go into this pen over here. I want the people to come over here for a town hall meeting. And the king continues on running the town because they know the knight don't even hold no kind of ground. The knight is your negative thought. It holds no weight. But you threw yourself. I'm going to tell you how it looks like now if you were to let the thought become important and you're the king or the queen. All right. You're the king or the queen, and the knight comes, I challenge thee. Don't know sword work, don't know how to do nothing, don't know how to da-da-da. All of a sudden, you throw yourself from the throne. Oh my God, this knight can defeat me. After all your years of training, after the power you hold, after you can snap your fingers and but you threw yourself off the throne for it. I'm trying to make you guys see, like, when you kind of see that things are absurd, it really strips it of the power that it has. It's like, yeah, Nikki, why did I throw myself off the throne for that? Why did you? It's not important. I'm not making it important. It's just like when you see movies, or like even in schools, you see like kind of the systems of like popular girl, popular guy, whatever, that whole dynamic in school, which I don't subscribe to, but whatever. It's like, if I make you not important, I'm not paying attention to you, so you're not important. Treat your negative thought like it's like an annoying fly. Not one that keeps coming back, but just like a swat. Ew. Could never. That's it. That's all. I want you guys to really breathe for a moment and really internalize what I'm saying. That's it. There's nothing else that I'm going to tell you outside of that. You don't have to jump 10 times. You don't have to do anything besides keep putting your focus on your new story, which looks like your new affirmations, or which looks like your visuals, which looks like whatever you're scripting about, just, or using sleep affirmations, or meditating on. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. But Nikki, what if I went through this for 5 years and I went through this for 6? That has nothing to do with what you're doing now. Okay, but I got rejected from 5 jobs. That has nothing to do with what you're doing now. You thought a certain way when you got rejected from those 5 jobs. You're a different person now. Oh, but $10 got withdrawn from my bank account and I'm manifesting to have 1,000. What does the $10 have to do with the 1,000? Y'all be trying to correlate things that just don't correlate. I cried yesterday. What does crying have to do with you experiencing what you want? People cry every day. People cry at dog commercials. I cry at dog commercials. What does that have to do with anything? What has to do with things is when you're sitting there and you're thinking, notice now, let's get into it. This is when it matters. When you're sitting there and thinking, I'm not good enough for this, it's so hard, it's unattainable. I saw Mary, John, Joseph, and all of them get these things, and I don't know when I'm going to get it. I don't know when I'm going to get the next story. And that's what you're dwelling on. You're repeating that to everybody. You're liking all the stuff on it. That's when you should be questioning, like, I'm bugging. People go from homeless to having homes. People go from spending, I remember seeing this guy on YouTube. He was at the gas station. He recorded a video. He said, this is the last $10 I have. He was filling up his car. He said, I will never be in experience ever again. And if you have a car and you spend your last on gas, you know that kind of feeling. It's like a, what am I going to eat then? What am I going to, whatever, where's my car payment coming from? Blah, 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 blah. He said, I would never go through this again. And the next video was where he was now with multiple cars, sports cars at that, and wherever he succeeded in life and whatever business he did and whatever, blah, 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 blah. What made him get there? His mindset. He decided, I don't want to think this way about money anymore. I don't want to be this way with money anymore. So I'm going to think different. Even as I spend my last $10, I'm at rock bottom, so I can't go any further than that. So I might as well just keep thinking in my favor. That's why I'm trying to put it in perspective for you guys. If you are already experiencing what you don't want, you already experienced it. So now let's do something different. And it's like you're moving forward to experience something different, and you're like, oh, but what if I don't get what I want? My guy, you already experienced what you don't want. So you might as well keep focusing over here so we can get out of that. Like a kid, that's how you relearn. When a child starts to lose focus, you go, Bob, pay attention. I gotta get a better name. I don't like Bob, but whatever. Bob, pay attention. Then Bob starts looking at him. Bob, finish. You're like a child. If you notice that your attention is going back to what you did, hey, remember? Like a child. You're not a child, but that's how, it's okay. Reparent, relearn. It's absolutely okay, and it's absolutely possible. And the craziest thing about this all is success stories are great, right? Because they're usually, I find that success stories are right on time when you read them. Because it's like, wow, I needed to hear that. That's so cool that this person did it. But at the same time, it's like, aren't you ready to be a success story? Aren't you ready? There's a difference between having a thought and thinking a thought. A thought about something can come up. If you don't like it, let it go. You don't have to now start thinking about that thought. No, literally, you don't have to sit there and break. So there's this thing called overanalyzing. And after a while, you start to realize, I'm tired of overanalyzing bullshit because it's tiring. You go down this tireless loop of overthinking of dumb shit. And I'm not coming for y'all. These are things that I had to really, there's habits that I evaluated in myself that I'm like, oh, I wonder if other people experience this, so I'm going to talk about it. I get those happy-go-lucky, happy videos where we encourage and I do my pep talks. But it's like, I want to talk to the people that maybe experience certain things and they think nobody else is. Because, you know, with this community, it's like you already have it, you have what you want, da-da-da. And I get it. But there are like little parts in the there's little parts in the journey that people don't talk about, and I'm going to talk about it. So it's like, I get it, having those moments where you first get all this information, so now you're in the overanalyze stage where you're overanalyzing every single thought you have. Okay, I thought this because of this, I thought this because of this, okay, and you're like, you know that science meme where all the science and math is happening and the lady is doing this in the thing? It's like you're trying to do all of that to your thoughts, and you're trying to be the scientist, and you're trying to break down everything and cut it up and then put it back together, and I want to save you time. I want to save you time. I want to save you time, and I want to save you mental energy, and I want you to experience peace. You don't have to do that. You don't have to overanalyze and break down every single thought. That is literally like having a second job. That's like having a job and you're talking to people in your day, and then having to go and in your mind you're breaking down every single, you have thousands of thoughts a day, so you want to break down, let's say, I don't know the exact number, but let's say there's 70,000 thoughts in your mind for the day. You're telling me you want to spend 24 hours, well, not 24 because you sleep for a few of those, so let's say, 12 hours. You want to spend 12 hours breaking down 70,000 thoughts? I quit. That's exactly what I would say. You lost me. You lost me. That's what I'm trying to show to you guys. It's like, nobody told you have to break down and analyze every thought. Essentially, what you're doing is figure out your general belief about an area, realizing, okay, I don't have to go down to my history of when I was 2 years old. If I need to, cool, and it's not traumatic, I'll do it just to get a more of, understanding of myself. That's why there's therapists as well who help you do that. If you don't feel you need to, then you don't. And all you have to do is realize what the current story is and be like, well, I like this part, but I just want to make it, tweak it, and that's it. But not what is every single thought that I've had on this area, and let me write a paragraph about every single thought and break down. That's why some of y'all are tired. Mentally tired and drained. And I don't know who's telling y'all to do that, but I'm telling you, you don't have to. The moment I realized that I do not have to overanalyze and break down every thought is the moment that I felt freedom in the manifestation community. I started to really I skyrocketed after that, because I'm like, oh, I have a negative thought. I'm going to put in quotes because it's unfavorable. I'm not afraid of it. So it's like, I had that thought, and it's like, does it mean nothing if I don't make it nothing? And I could just move on with my day. And one of my favorites, I don't got time. My favorite line to myself would be like, I actually don't got time for that. Let's think about something else. And I'll put my mind on something else. I'm so tired of being my old self. I had to put my foot down with myself last week. I'm tired of being scared, angry, worried, insecure. The level up is personal at this point. So let me tell you about that. So hold on a second, guys. So sorry. Hold on. I went through a lot growing up and overwhelmed. I told Nikki it was like a horrible show just playing in my head. She was like, well, no, literally change the channel. This is how I know Ellie and the Curies is like OGs, because in the VIP group, I'm going to just keep it real. I'm going to just be like, well then, why you keep... That's like turning on the TV, knowing you're afraid of scary movies, and putting it on scary movies every single time you turn on the TV and sitting and watching it. Why do you keep doing that? You don't like scary movies, so just change the channel. And some of y'all be like, but where's the remote? You're the remote. I don't know. I just literally, my favorite is, I don't got time for that. When I was going from struggling with the mindset of being committed to being who I am now in regards to commitment, it is so simple. And I'm going to actually, and I know that, and that's why I'm going to explain what I'm about to explain right now. So when I went from struggling with the idea of commitment and not receiving commitment and being told from guys like, hey, I like you, but I just don't see a relationship to me now, like with my boo thing. And just not only that, just any man that talks to me, if they don't know I have a man, is offering like, I want to take you out, I want to wine and dine you. It's commitment, right? There was those thoughts of like, is it really that simple? Because I understand what's happening sometimes with some of you. It's like, is it really that simple? But this is what I'm saying. The only way you're going to know for sure is if you apply it. So let's say you're in a state of, it sounds so simple. Like I watch these videos and it sounds so simple, right? You're in that bubble right now. You go back into your world of not doing anything and continuing to just watch videos. What's going to happen is you're going to find that you circle right back to that point of nothing has changed. Like she said, it was that simple. Because the key that you missed is that you didn't take the leap to try. You didn't take the leap to bet on yourself. So what you were supposed to do when you were in that moment of, it sounds so simple. Let me try. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to say robotic affirmations. I kind of like that world of people who robotic affirm, so I think I'm going to try that. And I'm going to go down that route. And it makes me feel powerful, and it gets me into the state of the wish fulfill. Next you know, you're affirming. You start to see, let's say you're one of those people that get movement. Some people get the full thing in one shot. Some people get movement. Everybody's world's different. You start to be like, wow, I'm actually starting to believe in myself. Wow, I'm actually trusting myself. Wow, things are actually starting to shift within me. I feel so different. Manifestation. And then those are the very same people. Oh my God, guys, manifestation is for real. And success story. Because they decided one day, like, yo, like, I keep seeing how simple it is. Let me actually just try. And not just try, but let me do. But if you want to continue to watch the scary movie and you know you don't like scary movies, that's also okay. I will not judge. If that's what you think you can handle and continue to watch it over and over and over again, cool. I just knew that when I went from non-committal to committed, I genuinely wanted to experience what it was like to be with a man who was completely devoted to me. And I knew that meant getting over my worrying. I knew that meant getting over analyzing all of my thoughts. I knew that meant getting over my fear of it not happening. I had to get over it. Else I would have stayed in that cycle. This didn't happen. If you guys are OGs on my page and I tell my story about love all the time, it didn't happen for me on the first try. I got it on like the second to third try. And that's because I wasn't applying and sticking with it. It happened in a short period of time, but this is to let you know that I'm not preaching to you that, oh my God, I'm perfect and I did it on the first try and and I'm just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I am wonderful, but still, that's not what I'm coming to you with. What I'm coming to you with is I had to realize, hey, if I want to experience this new life, I really have to get over these things. I really have to. And so, anytime I used to start to feel the fear of, what if this person doesn't want to commit? What if I never get committed to? Actually, I want this new story so much more. Let's do something new. I always react this way. I've always thought this way about commitment. This is why I'm experiencing it. And it's so simple that all I have to do is change how I think about commitment. Let's just do it for a few more days. Just keep going. Just keep going, Nikki. I'm easily committed. I can't even remember some of the stuff that I used to say when I was affirming for commitment, because now I don't really as much. I do like different things, but like I'm easily committed to. I don't have to ask, but I get commitment. I'm seen as wife. I'm the one. There's no better choice than me. I'm irresistible. That was my favorite affirmation. I'm irresistible, irreplaceable, and unforgettable. That was my favorite affirmation at the time. Like to the point where now when I say it, it's kind of like, I know. Like, I went with it. I just went with it. And naturally what began to happen is I started to see change in, which is so interesting, I started to see a change in friends first. Friends started to like tell me how much they love being in my life. Like it just was so interesting. It was nice to see. And then other guys would pursue me in the ways that I wanted to be pursued. And then bam, just was like, hey, how you been? What you doing? Da da da. And that's what it is now. Anything you want, you can have. You just got to take that leap on yourself. Anything that I say that I want to desire, or anything that I say that I desire, I take that leap. I'm like, it's either I keep pondering, can I have it? Or I go, head first, it's mine. You guys have a cheat code, and you're playing afraid, like you're playing scared with the cheat code. Even better example, I haven't played Sims in a while, and I haven't talked about Sims in a while. But Sims has it where you can play it in the basic mode without the cheat codes, which makes the game 10 times more boring to me, but like whatever. And also longer, because now you have to actually build up and make money and wait for the person to make money. And in the game, they don't make the jobs have a lot of money. But there's cheat codes, which Sims just does offer to the people. So look at how it works. Sims, the actual game, offered the cheat codes to people, which I was using the cheat codes before Sims was offering it. Anyways, and the cheat codes make you create in that world how you want. Imagine saying, no, I'm not going to use the cheat code. I'm just going to make it hard and just struggle through life. Okay, play on hard mode then. You get the award for it. Go ahead. You want to live on hard mode? I'm happy for you. I'll take those cheat codes. Thank ya. Thank ya. And if you play Sims, you know, motherload, you get 1 million Sim coins, whatever. Motherload, thank ya. You're literally have a cheat code. Use it. Use it. That's like somebody coming up to you and like, or your friend. Let's just say your friend, because sometimes I can see how that can be kind of creepy out in public and random, but your friend goes, here's $40. Oh no, I don't need $40. Thank you though, but thank you. Let me help you. Let me give to you. Let me pour love into you. Let me be there for you. No, 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 no. I don't deserve. You see me? Thank you. Allow yourself to have. You deserve. Stop fighting it. Stop creating excuses. Stop creating beliefs that, oh no, I can't have it till I get my hair done. I can't have it until my daughter is 9. I can't have it until my mom says this to me. I can't decide that he likes me till I hear the words. Okay. Have fun. And then you get tight. You get on the internet. And then you watch videos. There's 2 spectrums. You get on, you watch videos, and you're like, did I miss something? Or, this doesn't work. Okay. Cool. Live life on easy mode. You deserve it. I think that's what I'm gonna change this to, the title to. Live life on easy mode. You literally deserve it. I'm not even trying to, you know when people try to gas it and they're like, you can have it all. But it's like, you really can have it all. You really can. I just saw this I just saw this clip. I don't ever watch celebrity news because I don't see celebrities as celebrities. I see celebrities as just regular humans. But I saw this random article, and Big Lotto was talking about how she loves being rich, which shows her money mindset. She loves being rich, therefore she is, because she gets to eat out all the time and try different restaurants. So a girl retweeted it and was like, well, girl, Lotto, this is not the time because I got rent to pay. And Lotto responded, was like, all right, here's money for your rent, and paid the girl's rent. Whole time, some of you guys with money is like, where's the money gonna come from? How's my rent gonna be paid? That girl just came on, answered a tweet, and got her rent paid. Another girl, I'm just using this as an example, but I'm showing you how that could seem so absurd, but it's very much possible. Another girl went to a Drake concert, which I'm not even a Drake fan, but she went to a Drake concert. She went to a Drake concert, and she had a sign that she was like, I don't know what the sign said, but she was like, pay me, like she had a specific amount of, give me this amount, whatever, because I'm like, I don't know, whatever she said. And Drake was like, I got you, and gave her, and I think it was about $20,000 or $25,000 just for going to a concert and putting the sign up. She probably was like, anything I spend comes back to me triple. Anything I spend is replaced with more. She probably paid what? A couple hundred for the tickets to get $25,000 back. A win is a win. But yet, some of y'all in the room. Okay, $20, $50. I was gonna. Tapping into your outside circumstances instead of remembering that the power is inside. I screenshotted a girl who commented on my recent short, and she was saying, you know, whenever she would start to get anxious about a text message from her partner, she would always remember she has to go inside. So she would take a deep breath and just remember, or just to see the person texting her. And she said it would work every single time. And it would work every single time because every single time she would trust that her inner world is the world. She would trust her power. So it had to happen. Exactly just like that. I'm going to give some memberships because I can't tell you how much my life has changed since I found Nikki. It's so crazy how different I am now. I actually want to screenshot that. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you, Ellie. For anybody she gets memberships for, it's a vibe. I'm actually about to answer your question next, Ellie. Not on this live, but your question in the tier 2, I'm actually posting that tomorrow morning. I finally got an app that I really like editing on. So if you notice with the first question I answered, I'm back to my editing game. And so I want to edit. I want to put my visuals back into my videos and stuff like that. So your video's up tomorrow once I finish editing. Okay. Hey, what's your thoughts on having backup plans? Thank you, the carries. There you go. So preparing for failure is so straightforward in a sentence that, let me say it in another way for you. So if you decide something and you go, I'm gonna have a backup plan, you're essentially saying the first thing that you have, you don't technically believe you can have it. So there's a difference in wanting to, okay, I'm gonna use relationships as an example. There's a difference between actually genuinely wanting that specific person and wanting to see what else was out there, right? It didn't come off me, and I promise. I'm just saying it was so quick that that's actually the right answer, like just straightforward the answer. You're preparing for failure. You're essentially saying what you really genuinely want in your heart, you cannot have. So you're going to give yourself a plan 2, like a plan B. So like that's like when those people are like, I want my specific person and I want another person. That's different because you're essentially saying, no, I do want my specific person, but I want other people. But if you are saying, no, this is what I want, and then you start to doubt yourself, and then you go, you know what, let me settle for this. Or I ordered a pizza, but it came over a burger. I'll just have the burger even though I wanted the pizza. If you're doing it in that state, then you're essentially saying you cannot have what your original desire is. And I don't know what it is on the topic. I don't know what topic it is, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know in what regards why you feel you cannot have it so that you have to have a backup plan. If you're afraid that you can't have it, I could completely understand. But to say that you can't have something is either you're listening to someone else or too tapped into what other people are saying on the topic. That could be a cause or not. Or you're not you don't trust yourself to create this life. And I'm not coming for you, but I'm just saying, this is the thing. You have to be, there has to be a level of conviction. So in other words, I like to use my synonym for conviction is standing 10 toes down. And the Carries know I love using that. So you have to have a level of conviction when you're changing your life. So Jim Carrey was homeless before he got his first movie deal. And there's a level of conviction to have written a check, which he did write, put it in his pocket, be homeless, and know that he's going to make it. Let's use something else. There are people who never experienced love or experienced traumatic love, and there's a level of conviction within them that they're like, I will never experience that again, and I won't put my children through that. There are people who have traumatic relationships with their parents, or their parents wasn't present, and they decided to or their dad wasn't there, or their mom wasn't there, and they decided, when I have children, I'm going to do a new lifestyle. And there's a level of conviction. So you have to want what you want enough, like to be like, no, nothing, no one can sway me from that. If you feel there is a backup plan, maybe you don't want that original plan as much. This is how I'm seeing it, because once again, I don't know what it is that you want. Once again, I don't know what you want, but there has to be a level of, this is what I want and nobody can take it from me. If that level of conviction is not there, you're going to be swayed by every and any option that is either settling, or you're just going to drop the dream. So it's not, I wouldn't judge myself for it, but I would probe. I would be like, well, if I feel like there's a backup plan, and if I feel like there's something else, then maybe, do I really want this enough? So I was the first entrepreneur of my family. And I tell you guys this all the time. I was an entrepreneur and I was a personal trainer, right? So I was raised in a household where it was, the belief system was to go to school and to get a degree is the only way that you will have a great job. That belief was strict in my house, meaning if I didn't go along those plans, I was seen as the black sheep. Now, in my heart, I knew I was going to be a successful personal trainer. I could have took my parents sat me down round table and tried to have a talk with me. My parents tried to apply for jobs for me. Funny as shit. My parents tried to put people on to hit me up to get me, and I said, no, I see myself as a successful personal trainer. There was no backup plan for me in my head. It was either personal trainer or nothing at that time. You don't think my parents came with the bullet points? My parents are very smart. They came with the bullet points. But nothing they said was going to be like, all right, let me add it on. And then I'm like, well, okay, well, if I don't know, this is what it is. Any moment you change your mind, let your mind be changed because that's what you genuinely want, but not because you think you can't attain it. So when I did actually become an entrepreneur and do it successfully and actually move out and pay rent with it and really build a page off of it and do everything I wanted to do with it, after a while I was like, I actually don't want to do this long term. I love the gym. I'm passionate about the gym, but I don't want to do this long term. This is not what I want to do long term. That's not where my heart is. I changed my mind because that's not what I wanted to do anymore, but not because I didn't think I couldn't be successful in it. So is your backup plan because you don't think you can attain what you really want? Or is your other plan or change of heart because you genuinely want the other thing? Be very aware of what state you're in with the backup plans. And I hope that you understood that. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. There's nothing wrong with deciding, hey, I actually don't want this anymore. I want this. That's okay. But don't change your mind because you think, I actually don't deserve that. I can't have that, and I don't know how I'm going to get it. Don't change your mind because of that. That's you ultimately saying, I don't think you're powerful enough. I don't think that I can stay disciplined enough. So let me give myself something else. When you can have it. And you knew that's what your heart's desire was. That's like knowing you want to be a race car driver and then you go to do farming on a cattle, and you're doing like whatever cowboys do in their world. You didn't want to be that. Unless you genuinely want to become a cowboy, then you leave the racing behind and become a cowboy or cowgirl. Really think about what's influencing your influencing that question. Make sure it's not somebody else telling you that you can't do it. Make sure it's not because you're tapping into different information. Make sure this is a you thing. Do you feel that you have to take action or just have to know? I believe that you just have to know. However, if there's action taken, I don't think that it's bad. So hear me out. I actually just got told a story by a friend where she is off social media for a little while, but she wanted to answer somebody that she only had on social media. But she was like, no, I'm not going back on social media right now. I refuse to. But she was like, I'm going to get to talk to the person. And she ran into the person in public, randomly, in the street. She ran into them outside. Didn't have to sign in, didn't have to take action. It just happened. It came to her. However, right? Hear me out. There are actions that if taken, I don't see it as manipulating. So let's think a content creator, or let's think somebody that wants to help climate change, so wants to help pick up litter. Like, you going to actually pick up litter before you have a, what is that organization called? It just blew my mind a little bit. Hold on. Anyways, before you're even who you are and you decide, I want to be someone who ends up having the biggest organization that picks up litter. Clearly, if you go pick up litter now, has your affirming. It's action, but you're not doing the action to manipulate. That's just what you love to do. So the same thing with posting videos and like content. Like, of course, I want people to love my videos. I'm not posting to become that. I already am that. But I'm posting the videos because that's what I enjoy doing. So I think there is ways to view action. There are some people who genuinely believe that if I do not act, I cannot have. And that's a interesting mindset to have, because then you're always going to be doing. And I want you to kind of think of this perspective. Once again, I'm not shaming action. I'm just giving you perspective switches, right? So think about a girly who actually I actually saw one, what's today, Sunday, last night. I went to like this upscale restaurant for my sister's birthday, and it was this pretty girl, and she was just sitting pretty with a guy. And I wasn't in their business, but I kind of just saw her mannerisms, and she didn't do anything. He did everything for her. He got up, he opened the chair for her. She didn't do anything. You could just tell she was used to just resting in her, being feminine, whatever. And he did everything for her. However, there are people who work super hard, like having 3 jobs, feel like they're like good people, but yet still not making the level of money as someone who woke up and typed something for 1 hour and got off the internet. It was never about the action. It's always about your mindset. However, if there's action taken, make sure the action is not because you're trying to manipulate. Some people get these intuitive nudges that's like, actually go this way today, or like, stop by here today. And that's okay to honor those intuitive nudges, because maybe it is genuinely an intuitive nudge. But when you try to force action to get, that's where you mess up. Because now you're thinking you have to do, now you're thinking you have to manipulate to get what you want. And that's not believing in your power. That's actually not trusting yourself at all. That's like someone saying, I know he's going to text me, and popping up his doorbell, ringing his doorbell, like, why didn't you text me? But I'm here now, let's talk. It's like, didn't you believe that they were going to text you? So action to me is not needed at all. However, if it comes upon you to take that action, it's something that's just going to flow through you and happen naturally. There won't be manipulation. It's just like people who post a video because they enjoy, like, for example, Miss Rachel, I was just talking to, my sister was actually just talking to me about Miss Rachel. If you don't know what Miss Rachel is, Miss Rachel does videos for like toddlers and babies, and she does educational songs and whatever. She clearly wants money, duh, but she didn't initially make the videos for that. She made the videos to help her child who has, you know, special needs. And she enjoyed posting the videos because it was helping her child, but other people would comment and be like, this is helping my child. Naturally, as she continued to post videos, she made money from the videos. So she's not posting to make money. The money is a byproduct, which is probably the manifestation. Because to take care of a child with special needs, you probably have to have certain education, have to pay certain schools, have to pay for care if you have a job, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying? So action was taken by Miss Rachel by posting her videos, but the intention wasn't to let me post, because if I post, that's the only way that I'm going to. She posted because that naturally was what she felt like doing. And as a byproduct with her mindset, money came from it. Same thing with relationships. People have the battle of, should I text him first or should he text me first? And if you're in the constant state of that, don't text, because the mindset is not of one that's confident. However, if you're having a great day, you're flowing, you're talking, you're giggling, you're doing that, you're cooking, you're doing whatever, and you're like, I'm just gonna shoot a text because this person will get this joke. You send a text, but you're not doing that. You shoot the text and you're back to living your life and doing what you're doing. Probably went to an affirmation, living your life, and then naturally the text will come back. So you took an action, but the action wasn't to manipulate, like, I want to talk to the person so bad today, let me just. Do you see the difference? So yes, there's going to be cases where you're like, yeah, I did go to the dealership, I did go to the school, I did do this, but you didn't go in the state of trying to manipulate. You just went because it happened as part of the routine. Don't overthink that part, guys. That's another thing too. A lot of you, do I need to just really think mindset and believe that things can fall in your lap. They really can. If anything I can tell you guys, things can just fall in your lap. All right? Things can happen without you doing anything. People will find you. People will talk to you. That's like when girls are like, I blocked him on everything, and he starts writing her letters through Cash App. It can happen. Have you ever got fed up with a situation and decided different with strong knowing? And it happened quickly but regularly. I don't know how to decide with the strong emotion knowing. Any tips? That's conviction. That's the word I was just talking about. No way. I've been wanting to see Milo and I just heard him. Yeah, he's chilling today, guys. It's the heat broke in New York. I'm gonna answer Miles in a second. The heat broke in New York. He's chilling. Anybody else dog does this? So Milo, we would try to bring Milo in to a room where it's cooler because if it was a heat wave. But he loves being in the heat, and so like it was like we would have to force him to leave the heat to go in the cool room. Does anybody else dog like that? Like he'll sprawl out in the heat. It's like he enjoys it. I don't know. Random. Anywho's, Miles, that's what I was just talking about. That's the word called conviction. Conviction is a strong inner knowing, but you can't force conviction. And if you don't have that strong knowing, that's where repetition comes in. So this is something to understand. This is when I say, guys, some people can just decide, that's because some people really reach their breaking point. Or some people are just so freaking sick and tired. They're like, F that. No. And I think a lot of people have experienced that feeling at least once in their life. They're like, F that. No more of that. And that's being convicted, like, no, this is it, right? However, if that's not how it happened for you, because not everybody went through a traumatic breakup to want to experience to change their love story. Some people grew up with great love stories and just flowed right into love. I have a cousin, she went right from kindergarten, all of that, had cute little boyfriends, right into marriage, never experienced any bad breakups, whatever. Some people don't have those stories that cause them to go, I'm sick and tired, conviction. And that's okay. However, if you're not feeling that conviction or that one-time stamp, you should probably be doing repetition of reminding yourself, hey, I'm changing the story. Either way works. It doesn't matter. If you're trying to force yourself to be convicted, that's probably where the frustration is going to come from, because you're depending on feeling convicted. No, it's either, that's the thing, it's either like, no, F that, or it's like, you know what, I know I need to change this, let me put the discipline in to repeat. Either way ends with what you want. So if you're not feeling that, or like you're not in the knowing in that one time, you should probably be repeating your new story just whenever you feel like it, and consistently. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's it. They go sit in the hot sun at noon, panting, burning up. Yeah, like, why would you want to, let me mind my business. Humans go to the beach, so why am I judging my dog for liking the heat? The thing is, 2 miles, this is another thing too. I wanted to add this to being convicted. When you have a desire that's been on your heart, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's being accepted to a school, if you take a step back and don't look from the place of jealousy, if you see someone experience what you desire, or like similar to that, that actually should amp you up. Even in moments of anger and frustration, that should amp you up. So when my boyfriend was my SP, so I don't call him my SP anymore because he's my boyfriend. So just so you guys understand, there were things that he did that got on I talk about this all the time. There were things that he did that got on my nerves, and in that frustration, I used that. In that frustration, I let it amp me up. So like, I didn't do woe is me. This is why I extend compassion to those of you who are still learning to self-regulate. But I didn't woe is me. I got buck in here. I got buck. Like, when I got frustrated, I'm like, this is literally my energy. Like, if I get frustrated, annoyed, any of those, I got buck in here. Like, watch me, watch me, watch me work. I'm so powerful. Watch me. And I'm literally just that. I would use those moments. I didn't have them all the time. I wasn't always angry. I wasn't always frustrated. But in those moments, I used that. And if I didn't have those moments of being, and I was just neutral for the day, then it's repetition. So you're not necessarily looking for the perfect feeling or for the perfect moment to be convicted. Just wake up every day and say the new story. Just wake up and say, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. Today is going to be my day. Today is going to be the best day I've ever had. And do that every day. And throughout your day, when you think about the person, or when you think about the money, or when you think about the topic, I said it already, it's mine. Repetition. And what you're going to notice is, after a while, when you start to wake up, your thoughts, and when I say after a while, I say after a while because time limits are different for everyone. Some people wake up the next day and it's like, yup, I said what I said, it's still that. Some people, they dibble dabble, and then I don't know who that is. Anyways, some people dibble dabble, and they have to repeat, and that's okay. I said it already. That's my favorite line, because it's like, I'm not doing this. My biggest thing is, I just remember a place where I was always mentally drained, and people don't realize when you're mentally drained, it also leads to you being physically drained. So you just feel so depleted of energy, and that's not fun. And I just was tired of being mentally and physically drained from my own doing of overanalyzing everything and not trusting myself. So I was like, well, what's on the other end of this? I can't continue living life like this. So it's not about finding the perfect feeling, Miles. It's about choosing the story. If you have chosen a story, every day you need to wake up and this is my story. This is the only thing you're repeating to yourself. And if you have a close friend that you can talk about manifestation with, then that's what you be doing. And if you're in my community, you can talk about them with them in there. This is it. I've been dibble dabbling lately. Oh, wait, but I'm very happy. But I'm happy to continue. Dibble dabbling is so interesting because when you have a skincare routine and you're consistent and you start to notice that your skin is getting better, it's glowing, and then you have a week of eating trash, you forget your skincare routine, and then literally what I was about to say, Lexi, and like you notice like it's like whack, like my skin is not vibrant, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And the only thing that changed was the products didn't change. The only thing that changed was you. And so when you realize you enjoyed when your skin was pretty, you enjoyed when your skin was glowing, even if you had a pimple, but your skin was just vibrant because you were consistent, it's going to get you to stop being inconsistent with yourself. That's how you build consistency. That's how you build discipline, not through motivation, but through deciding, hey, I actually like that end of things. Go all in with yourself. It's not go all in for the money, not go all in to be with your specific person, not go all in to have it. You're gonna have those things, but you're going all in for you. It's like saying, I'm my magic genie, but if I'm not consistent, how can I be my magic genie? How do you deal with other people projecting onto you? James, I don't know, James. Sometimes I feel like I am my dream self when I'm alone, and then I hang out with people and I don't know how to be around them. So I'm going to answer this genuinely, but I don't know if you're new here, James, but let me tell you something about how I feel about anything or anyone that tries to put their BS on me or in my life. I will act like you have not spoken. Do you guys remember in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is actually one of my favorite movies, not Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp, and the one that likes the TV and the gaming would always talk, and he would always be like, no, 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 what are you saying? No, 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 what are you saying? Like, I don't know if you guys seen that movie. That is literally actually, I'm going to watch that movie today, but that is my favorite parts of the movie because he heard what he said. Like, you legit heard what he said, but it's like, what you're saying is irrelevant. What you're saying is irrelevant. What are you even saying to me? Like, if you have not seen that part of that movie, what? Y'all never seen, or just say, okay, that's right. You've never seen, please go watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There is literally the part where the little boy is going, and he's like, no, the boy is actually talking, but he would turn around, he goes, you should really speak clearly. I can't understand what you're saying. And the boy would just look at him like, and then the boy would say something else, and the boy was always saying something contradicting Willy Wonka in his like dreamland. He's like, well, if you did it, and try to give him stats and whatever, and he's like, you should really try to speak clearly because I can't understand what you're saying. And then Willy Wonka would go about his life and continue on. Yes, I love that movie. No, I really do, because it showed you how Willy Wonka had a childlike mind, and he had to do some healing, but he had a childlike mind, and he brought it to life in his place. Yes, mumbling. You want to know so funny? I'm gonna answer your question, James, but you want to know so funny about that word? I'm actually about to use it that week. If my mom annoys me this week, which me and my mom are close, so we can joke like that, I'm gonna be like, mumble. She's probably gonna pinch me, but I'm gonna do it and let you guys know how it goes. But anyways, so James, you genuinely have to not care. So a part of changing your life and a part of manifesting a new mindset and a new identity is being fearless. And looking fearless means you do not care from the bottom of your heart what anybody has to say. Now, I always use my parents as an example, but people will try to say like, well, your parents will always love you. So even though they didn't believe in entrepreneurship, they were never going to hate you, right? So I'll use friendships as an example. I was the only person at one time in my group that knew about mindset work, bettering your mindset, manifestation, love. I was the only one tapped into this world. So I would be in a group of friends that were talking about things that I did not want to talk about and downing themselves, and it was just a lot of low confidence, okay? And so imagine I stumbled across this like cheat code, and I'm bubbling up with this information, and hi, whoever's just coming in, and I'm bubbling up with this information, and then everybody around me is talking about, and men ain't this, and women do this, and life is hard, and da da da, or you can't do that, or that. Whoa, overload. So in the beginning, the way that I handled it is I took a step back, literally physically. Like I took a step, hi, whoever's joining, I took a step back physically for a moment so that I can evaluate how I wanted to proceed. Yeah, it was draining, very draining. And that's because I didn't know how to maneuver yet. Because I was so bubbling up with all the information. I was working on my self-concept. Imagine working on your self-concept and then you're in a group of people who didn't even know what self-concept was. That was like insane, right? And it was draining. So I physically took a step back. And not because you have to, but just this is how I was able to kind of make a plan for how I wanted to move. So for starters, the first thing I did was I didn't pick up their phone calls as much. So I started to take a step back into how I picked up their phone calls. Now, I still wanted these women as friends, so I felt that it was worth it viewing them in a certain way in my mind. If I did not feel that they were worth my mental energy, I would have just cut the group loose and I would have just did a whole new group. However, I felt that these women were worth it. I felt that there were qualities and stuff in them that I genuinely appreciated. So I took a step back at first and I kind of minimized the phone calls and I chose a story. I said it does not feel good to me to be around this kind of conversation. So I need to tell myself that I have friends that get this. And not get this like law of assumption, but it's like-minded. So the word like-minded is cool because it doesn't mean that they have to think like you, or it doesn't mean that they have to be in the manifestation community. But like-minded means they're going to think growth-minded like you, think bettering themselves like you. So I felt this group was worth it. So I took a step back and I said, all right, right now though, I'm not going to pick up a lot of phone calls because it's draining on me and I need to focus. But I do want to see them in a different light. I have like-minded friends. I have long-lasting friendships. I am surrounded by women and men that want to better themselves and show up as their best version of themselves. I bring out the best version in people because I am the best version of myself. I'm able to be in situations and events because I go to a lot of events. I am able to go to events and situations and feel confident and grounded in myself. I am sure of myself. Nobody can sway me. And here's the thing too, when you are absolutely grounded in who you are, nobody can tell you who you are. I'll repeat myself. When you are grounded in who you are, no one can tell you who you are. I am loved. Girl, you are not loved. That won't faze you because I know who I am. Now, what's going to happen is if you choose to keep that same group of friends, they're going to show up like like-minded people. I'm going to give you examples from my life and what happened in my group. For example, one girl went through, one of my friends just went like low-key and didn't hear from her. And every once in a while, I do check-ins on my friends. So I'll be like, yo, are you okay? Da-da-da, da-da, and just make sure you're okay because at the end of the day, I still have compassion. So like I care. And she was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just working on some things. And when she came out of whatever low-key bubble she was in, completely different person. She was like, Nikki, she was like, which she now actually, which is so funny, watches my videos. She was like, you had this information the whole time? I was like, yeah. She was like, and you were having conversations with us that whole time? I said, yeah. She's like, how the hell did you put up with that? I said, because I was patient and I felt like this group was worth it. She was like, wow. She's like, you're a great friend. I also affirm that I'm a great friend. And complete transformation. Anytime we talk growth mindset, it's that bond there is great. And a series of events happened with the group that I chose where something happened in their life, not bad, but like something happened where they realized, I want to be the best version of myself. I don't want to talk about this anymore. We now have a rule in our group. We do not gossip. Because a lot of us went to the same school, so a lot of us follow the same people, or we went to so many events, we've met the same people. We do not gossip. There was a time that wasn't a rule in my group. And I used to be so tired of gossiping because I'm like, I don't care to talk about other people. I don't care. I don't care. And now it's a rule. We do not gossip because I changed that story. So, James, you need to figure out what you want to experience. If you want to cut this group loose or these group of friends loose, do not fear. There are a billion people on this earth, and you can absolutely meet anyone and a new group of friends at any time. I meet people all the time. I'm happy with my select crew, so I'm not looking to but I meet people all the time. Okay? So if you're looking for a new group, then you can absolutely attract and be around people who are like-minded, that believe in self-concept and being the best version. However, if you genuinely want to it's like manifesting an SP. If you want to be with this group still and you feel like, I think it's worth my time and my mental space, then all you need to do is tell yourself, hey, they are like-minded. I attract the best versions of people. You know what I'm trying to say. Change the story. You're drained, however, because you keep buying into it. You keep internalizing what you're saying. You also are going to have to learn to brush things off that people say. So I'm going to explain what I mean. I decided to recreate that friend group because I felt it was worth my mental time, my mental investment. However, there are a billion people on this earth. I am not going to sit and affirm for a billion people on this earth. So there are moments that I am in this world that I hear a conversation or I meet someone and their conversation is bogus, not aligned to what I want in my life. I don't I don't internalize what they're saying and I'm like, damn, oh my God. I just kind of well, that's not kind of what I don't say this to their face, but I'm like, that's kind of not what I want in my life. This is not what is aligned to me. And I just shift gears and put my focus elsewhere. Let me not put that limited belief out there. I don't want to affirm for a billion people. I don't care to, right? That's a lot of mental work for me. So I'm not going to fight every experience I have with another human and think everybody has to be perfect around me. I'm okay with having my select group or going to events that's like-minded, but if I meet the one rogue that's acting like I'm just gonna chalk it up to, okay, well, live your life. If you want to live miserable like that, that's like me at work. I don't invest my mental space into recreating the people at work, meaning they're not horrible, but they are complainers. So I can sit there and recreate the story that they're not complainers. I don't care to do that. I just ignore. That has been very beautiful for me. However, I can be like, oh my God, they're better. I just don't care. So the question first that you should ask yourself before you start anything is, what do I want out of this situation? Do I want these same friends or do I want a new group of friends? When you can genuinely answer that question for yourself, don't take anybody else's opinion, then you're going to know how to proceed. If you're choosing to stay with that group of friends, you'll recreate the story. If you're choosing a new group of friends, you go into it. My new group of friends are like-minded. It's going to be the same story, just depending on the choice you make, you will put your focus there, okay? And stop letting people drain you. Get a level of unbotheredness. Get a level of I don't care. And that looks different for different people, but get a certain level of that for things. So that's like, you talking bullshit. I'm not listening. You don't have to verbally say that, but get a certain level of that so you can start to cut out the garbage. So that's how I feel about social media. When I see BS on a timeline, I just not interested. So that's what you need to do to anything that's not interested. Bye. Okay, yes, because there's some friends that I have bad habits that I've ditched and it's triggering, but I'm going to take a step back and recreate them. Yes, so that's what I'm saying, James. So everything is a choice. You can, if you genuinely want to keep them, just recreate it. And it's possible. Like, I've had friends that it's like, I don't regret the choice that I made. You got to go. Boot it out of here. Even if I felt that I created it, I just didn't want to spend my mental space to recreate it. Boot it. Like, for example, I recreated the way that my parents act. Because I'm going to think my parents are worth it. Right? So, like, it always comes down to what do you want to spend. That's the same thing with manifesting a specific person. People will be like, oh, I just decided I didn't want to spend my mental energy on my old SP anymore. I wanted to go to my new SP. That's okay. That's their choice. But don't for a second believe that they couldn't have their old SP. they're just choosing, I don't want to spend my mental space on that anymore. I want to do something new. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment. Choose what you want and choose what makes you happy. The only thing I will say is once you make your choice, stay consistent. That's it. Sometimes you just don't feel like changing an assumption about certain people. Yeah, that's one of my biggest rules. If I don't, like one time somebody came for me in a live, one of my older lives, and I was saying I have allergies, and it was like, you could just manifest it away. I know, duh. But I don't spend my mental space on every single thing. There's just some things that I prioritize more than others. And there's just some things that I don't care about. Like, you don't think, like I could have said, I don't have allergies anymore. Duh. But I don't want to spend my time thinking on that. I don't care. Like, a couple of sneezes, and then I just have to take an allergy pill. I'll be okay with that. Like, I'm okay. You remember that? Like, they were like, oh, you can manifest your allergies away. Duh! I'm powerful. I can do anything that I want. But I'm choosing not to. I don't care to. Any advice on when you get what you manifest and how to keep it, being the new version of yourself? I'm manifesting a better financial situation. When I get called to interview for a manager, I was kind of scared, like, oh wow, this is happening. What the heck? That's a self-concept thing. Maintaining a manifestation is a self-concept thing. This will be my last question I answer. And I'm going to explain why it's a self-concept thing. So I used to see all the time success stories of people saying they manifested an X back or an SP and then come right back in and it was like, oh, I lost them. Why did I lose them? Why did I only get the text but not them? Hence why I went on a mission to figure out how can I change my commitment story. So here we are now, right? I'm in a full-blown commitment. So I wanted to figure out how can I go past those success stories of just getting a text and then the actions is retracted. I want to be able to maintain this. How do I do that? How are people maintaining relationships? How are people maintaining the new story that they have, right? Okay, good. Hold on, we don't need other people's opinions regarding what we're manifesting. That's a fact. Right. Fact. Okay, so let me finish answering this. So I said I wanted to surpass just getting a text. I'm like, these people are getting text and then saying that they didn't hear anything else from their SP, or they're getting a text and it's just sexual. I'm like, I want more than that. And I wanted to stay. How do I maintain? So most people will tell you this. Oh, just keep affirming for the topic. I'm going to let you know right now, your fear of it being maintained has nothing to do with you affirming the topic. It has everything to do with you thinking you're good enough to have it and keep it. So, for example, if you're affirming, I'm good enough to have this job, I'm good enough for this position, then you have your career affirmations, you get called for the opportunity, and then you're questioning the opportunity. That's you questioning if you're feeling good enough to keep that opportunity. That's a self-concept thing. So to maintain your manifestation, you continue to keep your self-concept at a state of I deserve, I can have, I can do, it is mine. Are we understanding? So let's rewind it. You're affirming, you get yourself from being insecure, unworthy, undeserving, and all those other things. You get yourself out of it. You get the opportunity. And then you go, oh my God, wait, is this really happening? Am I really powerful? Do I really deserve this? Can this really happen? Boom. It stops right there. It starts to pull away from you and go back to where it was. And now you're standing here like, what the heck? Where did it go? It's because you started to question yourself. That's your self-concept. What happens when you focus back on that self-concept and tell yourself, wait, I am deserving that opportunity. I can have that opportunity. It is mine. I can have a long-term job. I can experience happiness for a long time. It is mine. It starts to go and you continue. And even if you have moments, you continue. I am deserving. I am worthy. It's a self-concept thing. This is why they tell you guys that self-concept is important, because it's a great foundation. Because if you work on your self-concept, you won't question receiving good. When you are not used to receiving good and you're on your low self-concept, you get good and you're like, that's suspect. But when you're used to working on your self-concept and you're used to receiving good, somebody gives you good, you're like, good, I deserve that. That's normal. Keep giving that. Think about a rich person. A rich person is used to having money. They have a certain self-concept about themselves. They get money, that's normal. Yeah, I deserve that. Keep the money coming. If you're not used to that mindset, you're gonna, money isn't gonna come. That is a self-concept thing, Lex. So what I would say to you is, in that moment of fear that you have, remind yourself. A lot of this is about reminding yourself. Remind yourself, hey, 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 they called me. They called me to be manager. They saw something in me. Matter of fact, they need me to be manager. I'm organized. I'm efficient. I am the best. There's no one like me. The company got better since I got hired. All the bosses want me to move up even. Whatever story you want to tell, I'm just making things flow from me, you know? If I were to think it. You want to create the story that is yours. Oh, you start to get nervous. I don't know. Am I really going to get the job? Am I really deserving of a job? Yeah, I'm deserving of this job because I can spend on what I want. I can pay my bills, and I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be stable with money. I deserve to have a great relationship with money. There's other people getting money for cracking eggs online. And I'm just being a manager. I deserve. There's girlies posting feeds of their pic and getting money. I deserve to have this money. There's a girl out there in this world right now who believes she deserves to have money just from posting feet pictures. Her self-concept is through the roof about her feet. Right. So, my goal, which I'm not going to tell you guys, I'm just going to say I have a manifestation that I know is going to unfold for me and you guys. And all I'm just going to say is just watch and wait because, well, not wait, but just watch because it's going to happen. And I know it is because I'm powerful. And I look forward to hearing the success stories from you guys. And I just want to tell you guys, enjoy yourself, you know? Even though you're changing real life beliefs about yourself, enjoy your life. And that looks different to anyone and everyone. Yes, Lex, and that's the thing. Don't even beat yourself up about it, okay? Do you know how much jobs exist? I actually had a friend tell me, like, when I found out that this job exists, I'm like, I would have never even thought of that. She had a job that typed the words at basketball games, you know, that like go across the screen, or like the words, like, and I'm like, how does one get that job? Never thought of it, but it exists. There's a plethora of ways to make money. There's a plethora of opportunities out there. You need to open the door to it, and to open the door to it, you need to tell yourself that you deserve it. Just stay like, no, I'm done. This is it. I'm deserving of this experience. Yeah, people get money from feed pics, by the way. Just tell yourself you're deserving of it. Money flows. I'm telling y'all, money flows. There are so many jobs that I didn't know that people make money from that made me sit and go, I'll leave you guys with this, and I want you guys to think about this. I live in New York, so I see a lot of buildings. I don't know where some of you live, but just imagine if you have never seen skyscrapers, or just imagine an apartment building. Apartment buildings usually go high up, and apartment buildings usually have like hundreds of rooms. And certain apartment buildings are considered luxury apartment buildings, right? And if you want one room in some of those luxury apartment buildings, they're probably like over $5,000 a month. Certain ones range like $2,000, $3,000, but some go up into the thousands. Hear me out. Those luxury buildings that have like $5,000 per room, $6,000 per room, there are people renting them out successfully. Let's exclude the ones that are lying and scamming, but let's just say there's hundreds of rooms, 75% of them are renting those rooms out and paying $6,000 monthly $5,000 monthly, and that's just for rent. So it makes you go and think, okay, hundreds of people in this one apartment building can afford this rent. What job do they have, or how are they making their money? But either way, they all are making the money. Some may be illegally, but I don't judge. Some may be through whatever job that we don't know exists. Some may be a trust fund baby, but it exists and there's a potential. So don't put yourself in a box. Anytime I start to realize I put myself in a box, I really think of that example like, wait, there's apartment buildings that's completely running with filled occupants of people who can afford this rent because they're making that kind of money. So it absolutely exists. So the opportunity exists, Lex. Don't close yourself off and don't think you're not deserving. Literally open up your mind to the potential because it is possible. People are doing it every day normally. So normalize that. Like, opportunities come my way always. I can say no to an opportunity and get one the next day. Money comes to me easily. Every day, my wealth increases. I have the best relationship with money. My money mindset is so much better now. I'm so good at handling money. Anything that I spend is replaced with more. Money loves me. I get money so easily and quickly. Money always comes from expected and unexpected places for me. I always get the job. I'm always chosen. I am the one. I am wanted. Did you see how I tied those in with self-concept? Some of you guys need to get on your bully. All right? I love y'all. I'm out of here.